Castor smiled darkly, then raised his sword. Enough of this! I'm done trying to reason with you, fool. I have allowed you to skulk in the shadows, playing your vulgar games for long enough. I only permitted you to live because there was no reason to get rid of you. What, do you think that you can defeat me? That your little schemes and secrets will give you a chance against a true legacy? Sorry to disappoint, but I figured them out a long time ago. Sunny remained silent for a bit, and then asked in an indifferent tone, "Oh yeah? Do tell. What are my secrets exactly?" You hide your strength and pretend to be weak. You go around telling ridiculous tales, making everyone think that you are a lunatic. At first, I thought that you have lost your mind too. But once I started paying attention, it was so obvious. The constant misdirections, the obnoxious bragging that no sane person would ever believe. The crazy act. This is you, Flaw, isn't it? As Sunny tensed, Castor smiled triumphantly and said, "You are that idle friend of yours to try and mislead everyone. A pathetic attempt. Were you expecting that anyone would buy it?" Sunny stared at him. What sane person would go around telling such outrageous lies? Hidden behind the mask, Sunny smiled. It is so sad that I don't know that your powerful, incredible, amazing aspect ability shortens your lifespan every time you use it, and that you reverse its effect on your body with a charm memory in the shape of a sand glass. Ah, if only I was more observant. Too bad I am not. The legacy stared at him with a dark expression, his face slowly turning pale. After the Forgotten Shore, Cassie's betrayal struck Sunny deeper than any physical wound. She had been someone he had allowed close, someone he had thought understood him in ways few ever could. On that cursed island, he had relied on her guidance, believed in her visions, and even dared to trust, a dangerous thing for someone like him. But when the truth emerged, that she had hidden things, twisted choices, and used his loyalty as a tool, it left a scar deeper than any blade cut. For Sunny, trust was rare, almost sacred. So when Cassie broke it, it wasn't just anger he felt, but a hollow ache, as if a part of him had been foolish enough to believe in friendship again. Her betrayal didn't just wound him, it confirmed his deepest fear, that no one ever truly stayed. I created when I was just a lonely kid. We were together for a long time, before we weren't anymore. I had my first nightmare when I was 12. It's rare, but does happen sometimes. A name? I used to have a name, I guess. Mordred, or rather, Prince Mordred, I guess. Nothing. I am a prince of nothing. Nothing at all. Thank you for bringing this piece of mirror to me, Sunless. I am very grateful and very sorry for what is about to happen next.
A lonesome shadow came to a land of shattered dreams. It was captured and thrown into a cage, but escaped by weaving sorceries from its own soul. The shadow beheaded itself to take the slave collar off its neck, and lost its heart to win its freedom, leaving the Colosseum behind.
This beautiful steed was tamed by the treacherous lost from light in the depths of a harrowing dream. The two shadows battled across countless nightmares, shattering them all apart. Neither was willing to give up, so in the end, the nightmares did. Sunny and the diabolical steed of the fallen Shadow Lord battled across an endless tapestry of nightmares. Both were possessed by an insatiable desire to destroy the other. Burning with bloodlust, fury, and relentless killing intent, their blood flowed across 100 harrowing dreams. In the center of the Great Hall, surrounded by a swirling hurricane of light and darkness, a vague and graceful silhouette towered above the broken chains. He couldn't quite tell where the light ended and where her numinous body began. Perhaps Hope had no body at all and was instead made of pure radiance, pure darkness. He felt as if her nebulous visage was almost human-like, but also inexplicably alien. The shapes and contours were both correct and wrong, both familiar and strange, both pleasing and revolting, and beautiful. So beautiful. She was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. She was the most terrible. Master Jet, hey, I have a question for you. How cold is it in Antarctica?
The man fought a Titan to a stalemate just yesterday. Actually, I am not even sure that it was a stalemate. All I know is that the devil came back, but the Titan didn't.
So, did you find it? Conviction? Or whatever it was you've been searching for?
Admit it. You lost.
A master killing a saint. That had never happened in history. But it had to happen today. He was going to make it happen.
This is the
chosen, tarnished, and would-be lord, descend into the depths far below the Erd-tree capital, seek audience with the three fingers and the flame of frenzy, and incinerate all that divides and distinguishes. May chaos take the world!
He was no mere plague, he was cataclysm incarnate. A being so mighty, the fabric of reality itself trembled at his command. They named him the Dreadlord, and with good reason, for he ruled not with armies, but with the raw, unshackled power of his command.
A slip of the tongue? Certainly, certainly, if you say so. Yet, can you imagine having a relationship with someone who can rob you of your free will with a simple slip of the tongue? How do you imagine such a relationship working? What kind of perverse partnership would it be? Are you really willing to be at her mercy, always and absolutely? Gods, you are so odious, so loathsome, so pathetic. Tell me, is there a more pathetic thing than a slave who begins to trust his slaver?
The Mad Prince, the corrupted entity who turned the third nightmare into his own playground. He was the defiled version of Sunny, giving us not just a glimpse of what would happen if Sunny became corrupted, but showcasing how ruthless a version of him with nothing left to lose could be. And it was horrifying. Driven mad by corruption, Sunless, the true struggler, clung to whatever sanity he could. Using the sin of solace, a tool meant to drive its wielder insane, Sunny fought corruption with insanity, defilement with madness. He used that very madness to anchor himself to a shred of consciousness. He was broken by all means, ruined by all accounts, and corrupted to the core, with no cure. But he struggled. Now the corrupted Sunny had only one goal, to bring back Nephis. No matter the cost, enslaved by the Dreadlord, he still manipulated the abomination into uttering commands that would work in his favor. After all, he might have been mad and corrupt on top of being a slave, but he would never trust his slaver. He trapped devouring beast and undying slaughter on Windflower. He manipulated the Dreadlord into turning torment into a puppet, one capable of conveying his message. And finally, he initiated a war between the Dreadlord and the Soul Stealer. Driven by madness and obsession, he did the unthinkable. He opened his mouth as if wanting to say something, some terrible truth that would drive Sunny mad and infect his soul with corruption, without a doubt. But before he could, Sunny took a step forward, coming face to face with the startled Wraith, and leaned forward a little. Then he whispered into his ear, only 2 words. The first words he had spoken after saying farewell to Cassie at the shore of Verge. They were, "Be gone." And as he said them, the world shuddered. Sunny took a step back, but at the moment, the vile bird lunged forward, its demented eyes igniting with avarice and greed. Before he could even react, he was drowned by its loathsome shadow. And then, its talons plunged into his chest. Sunny gasped. However, the talons did not rip his flesh apart. Instead, they dove much deeper, finding their way into his very soul. If he had time to enter the soul sea at that moment, he would have seen the shapeless form of the vile thieving bird's spawn being snatched by the crooked talons. And yet, they did not stop there. Passing through Sunny's soul, the talons dug even deeper, into the depths of his being he had not even known existed. And there they grabbed onto something else, onto countless strings that were wrapped around him tightly, surrounding him like a chrysalis, or like the strings that held up a marionette. Straining itself, the vile bird struggled for a few moments, and snatched those strings too, somehow ripping them away from his existence. Sunny opened his mouth, trying to scream. No sound came out of his mouth.
I am free.
Identify yourself. I've met your father, you know. He showed so much promise when he was younger. And now, he's dead. Executed just before I left. It's sad, really. I would have loved to have seen the look on his face after I told him that I killed you.
Shadow Bond had not disappeared. It was just that Sonny did not have a true name anymore, and therefore its condition could not be fulfilled. The bond formed between him and Nephis was broken, and no one else was going to be able to enslave him ever again. Because a fateless being could not earn a true name, Sonny was truly and utterly free. But at what cost? The memories of his existence had been erased from the world. Be careful of what you wish, for. Sonny fell to the ground and looked up at the gray sky drowning in the flood of rustling swords. After a while, a terrible smile split his face like a jagged chasm. Taking a shallow breath, he laughed bitterly and whispered, "I'm free."
Sonny had never existed and would never exist. He did not exist. As soon as he acknowledged that fact, his soul started to dim. His body started to lose strength as well. His thoughts turned slower. That is right. Sonny smiled faintly. Come from nothing. Return to nothing. Only, if I don't exist, if there is no me, then why does it hurt to have never existed so much? He had experienced being erased from existence once already. That pain would have been meaningless if he had never existed in the first place. So, the mere fact that it had hurt him so badly was a contraction. If he was nobody, then he would have felt nothing. But he felt something, and therefore he had to be somebody. Pain bloomed in his heart like a flower, and with it, his transcendent soul ignited with the beautiful radiance of divine flame. Tenacious blood ran through his body, filling it with strength. His mind was aflame with desire to exist. I hurt, therefore I am. Wait, what? What kind of nonsense am I spouting? Sonny groaned and concentrated all of his formidable mind on a single thought. He was not nothing. He was not nobody. He was sunless, formerly known, or rather, unknown, as lost from light. He was the devil of Antarctica. He had been the Mad Prince once, but he was not anymore. He was even Lord Mongol, even if he wished otherwise. He was Sonny.
They were waiting for the war horns to sing, for the battle to start, and for the war to end. However, the command to attack never came. Instead, two figures appeared from the rows of soldiers, walking calmly across the surface of the ancient bone, as the titanic skull loomed in the distance, watching them with a silent gaze. One was a tall man with dark hair and cold, steely eyes. He was clad in heavy, dark armor, emanating a suffocating aura of dominance and oppression. A vermilion cloak fluttered behind him like a wave, its vibrant color in sharp contrast with his bleak, ruthless gaze. He was Anvil of Valor, the King of Swords. The other was a breathtakingly beautiful woman in a regal red dress, walking across the vast expanse of bone with calm, mesmerizing grace. Her skin was pale like that of a corpse, and a light smile played on her crimson lips. Her raven-black hair was like a lustrous waterfall of darkness, and there was something eerie and vaguely appalling about her beautiful, enchanting eyes. She was Kisong, the Raven Queen, the Queen of Worms. The two sovereigns walked unhurriedly across the battlefield, their human figures looking small and insignificant in comparison to the vast armies behind them, and at the same time, larger than the world itself. This time, Kisong did not use the dead youths, using her own voice to speak.
Vale.
Anvil responded evenly. Song.
Sunny had known that Oro of the Nine was not a simple person all along, not because of his skill and talent, but simply because of all the people in the nightmare. He was the only one whose name the spell remembered. That alone told Sunny that Oro was special.
There are many types of monsters in this world. Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters. They pose as humans, even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat, even though they've never experienced hunger. They study, even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship, even though they do not know how to love. If I were to encounter such a monster, I would likely be eaten by it.
Soul-devouring tree burning was incredibly vivid. Her entire body trembled. From the beginning, he was with us from the very beginning. The Lord of Shadows was not a hunter from the outer settlement. He wasn't from the Bright Castle either. He wasn't even just a sleeper from the same year as them. He was someone who had accompanied Cassie and Nephis from their very first steps on the Forgotten Shore. The two of them had been the three of them, all along. It was just that they had forgotten. Suddenly, Cassie felt a sharp pain pierce her heart.
You really thought because you had me outnumbered you could crush me? Think again. You see, my understanding of what the word power means is undoubtedly radically different than what the word means to you. I will teach you. Here's what power is.
Sonny suddenly felt a bad premonition. Just how high is their opinion of me? Looking straight ahead, he lowered his head slightly.
1, 2, 3. The darkness nestling in the eyes of Weaver's mask stirred slightly. Apparently it was extremely high, because there were 13 enemy saints moving to surround him in a wide half circle.
I hope you don't mind that I have come to welcome you, accompanied by others. Considering your great strength, you wouldn't have wanted Clan Song to humiliate you by only sending 1 or 2 saints here.
Indeed. I would have been enraged if your queen only sent a few of her minions to face me. This, though, this makes me quite content. I only regret that you didn't bring more.
Standing up, Kama turned and looked around. All around him, the wounded soldiers were swaying as they rose from the ground. All that remained were the corpses of the slain nightmare creatures, and the blood painting the surface of God-grave red. And fear of meeting the Lord of Shadows on a day when that dreadful demon was not held back by the mercy of Lady Changing Star.
He was someone who had accompanied Cassie and Nephis from their very first steps on the Forgotten Shore. The two of them had been the three of them all along.
Who are you? Identify yourself.
Oh, and by the way, happy birthday.
Oh, death, become my blade once more. What?